Hello, my name is Guerrero Evans, and today I'll be doing a book review over What Hath God Wrought. So, what hath God wrought? The Transformation of America, 1815 to 1848, by Daniel Walker Howe. This book was published by Oxford University Press in 2007 and is 904 pages long. It won the Pulitzer Prize for History, and after reading it, I can see why. My goal in this review is to explain how Howe explores one of the most important eras in U.S. history, and how he ties together politics, religion, communication, and everyday life to show how America changed before the Civil War. I'll also give my opinion on his argument and talk about some of the sources and people he focused on. First, this book covers the time period between the War of 1812 and the start of the Mexican-American War. Howe argues that these years saw huge changes in American life. One of the biggest themes is what he calls the communications revolution. For example, on page 5, Howe talks about the telegraph and how Samuel Morse sent the first message, "What hath God wrought?" which became a symbol for this entire era. Howe also talks about how railroads, newspapers, and post offices helped connect people. And he talks about that in page 211 through 216. Another big focus is on politics. Howe doesn't just list events, he gives opinions. He's very critical of Andrew Jackson, especially for his treatment of Native Americans through Indian removal, which he covers in detail on pages 346 to 353. Howe argues that Jackson's version of democracy actually hurt a lot of people. Instead, he supports Henry Clay and his American system, which was all about building roads, supporting schools, and growing the economy, which you can see that on page 230. Religion plays a big role in this book too. Howe shows how the Second Great Awakening inspired reform movements like abolition of the woman's rights. He connects religious ideas to political changes, especially on pages 481 to 487. He even includes quotes from preachers and reformers to show how faith pushed people to demand change. What I really like about this book is how inclusive it is. Howe doesn't just talk about the presidents, he includes Native Americans, enslaved people, women, and regular citizens. On page 546 to 550 and 591 to 595, he gives voices to people we don't usually hear in textbooks. He uses letters, speeches, and newspapers to make the history feel real. If there's one downside, it's that the book is very long. It's over 900 pages. And sometimes the pace slows down. For example, the Mexican-American War at the end feels rushed compared to earlier chapters. But overall, that's a small issue compared to what this book offers. In conclusion, What Hath God Wrought is a powerful and detailed look at how the United States changed between 1815 to 1848. Daniel Walker Howe explains the time period with deep research, strong arguments, and a focus on people from all walks of life. I would recommend this book to any student or teacher interested in American history before the Civil War. It's not just a history book, it's a full picture of how America became modern. Thank you for watching my review.